It's where I find your zone every day.
Crypto here with the Maximus interview, man. What is going on, man? Have to be back. Gonna be back on a regular streaming schedule. Had a little bit of technical difficulties in the background. Gold Keys in the back laughing at me in the green room. I see him. Yeah, man. I'm happy to introduce the founder of Maximus, powering down, gobbling down an energy drink in the background and stuff. What's up, Golkey? What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? Bro, that intro, I got to get my intro level to that, man. That got me hyped up. That's awesome.
Hey, heck yeah, man. I mean, like, I think I have the most hyped up intro in all of crypto and stuff. And I got some crazy ass stuff too in the background. But yeah, man, what's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. It's a pleasure to be here. It was awesome to finally meet you in person in Vegas, man. That was a good time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we turned lemon into like what? I just lemon into lime into lemonade, but I was like lemon into wine. But well, actually, a lot of wine. But yeah, we turned something that like people were pretty negative about, and we managed just to flip it around. And so many people showed up that I mean, like it doesn't matter what happens. You have so many hexagons in one place. It's going to end up being a great time. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. There were a few parties that were like put on by other projects, and like Hexagon showed up and it just like changed the game, man. Like there's just this type of energy that we bring, and I don't know, man. Every time I'm around Hexagons, I feel good, man. And I'm like, I'm hyped up for Hex and Pulse Chain, man. It's exciting times.
Yeah, me too, dude. I mean, did they just show me how much, dude? If Pulse Chain had already launched, and then that ended up happening, man, that event would have been crazy. Would have been crazy. But I mean, it was really cool to meet like Crypto Coffee and all you guys as well. And I think I feel so bad. I forgot the name of the guy that was with us on stream as well. Like, remember how we were? I'm not gonna say what was on stream.
that was the craziest moment, bro.
Bro, that was what. So for you guys who don't know, right? So obviously, Funding Jim had this amazing stream, right, where he basically was basically he was on a side room at the convention, which was basically just for influencers, pretty much. And then he was running like a 4-hour stream. And then he's like, "Hey, Dollar Cost, come on the stream, sure." And then here's Crypto Coffee, and then you came on, right? And a friend of ours that we thought was in the green room, we're like, let's let him on. And something very terrible happened with
that was so bad. Burn that image, man. You do not need that.
Burn that.
That was so crazy.
Mine was literally like
I was in shock for like 15 minutes. Like it was crazy.
bro,
Never happened before.
that was who the hell does that I mean, can you imagine like what kind of like dickhead for motherfucker, like he's like recording someone, like it's in the green room. The guy was like standing like he had this douchebag must have been on stream with this guy at some point and recorded him like in the green room sort of doing this. Like he was just like, you know, normally you're just waiting in the background of a stream and you're just kind of like chilling like this. Just normally, and he's like, we let him on, he's moving, and then he just goes, yeah.
Dude, that was bad. Lesson learned, man.
Yeah.
Like open-ended like stream invites are sketchy, man.
Yeah, man. It worked out back in the day. Like we used to do it a lot of times for like Discord Syndicate back on Fridays and stuff. But like if like as we get bigger and bigger and bigger, like some troll shit like that's gonna end up happening again, you know, which is not good.
Yeah.
Everyone's laughing.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, that was the first time I ever got to meet you, man, and meet you and the team and stuff. And man, you guys ended up being as good as I thought you guys were, man. Which is really cool, man. So you might give a little explanation of how you got started or how you like. I mean, how did you find Hex and how did you even get into this whole fucking crazy space?
Yeah, man. So I've been launching startups since 2016, and one of my first startups, it was a VR social app. We launched the first VR social media app to iPhone. And we partnered, we wanted to like incorporate a crypto into our app. And we partnered with this company that did an ICO. And through that partnership, they basically like funded us. Like we were getting, you know, an allocation every month and we were just dumping it, honestly. But it, you know, it kind of sponsored what we were doing. And then, you know, we shut that startup down. And then my co-founder, Dipcatcher, shout out to him he was really into Bitcoin, then found Richard Hart and got into Hex and luckily got me in. I wasn't too, I got in pretty early, but I wasn't really focused too much on Hex initially. I just like staked it, forgot about it. I was actually more focused on this social network. It was called betascent.com. And it was like a social.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was that? I was like, sir, that sounded terrible.
No, it was actually honestly really cool. It was cool because it had some like tipping features that were like really cheap. So people were very active with tipping and it actually drove a lot of social engagement more than I was getting on normal social. And it was all about crypto. And what's crazy is that a lot of the big NFT artists that you see today, I swear that platform like kind of drove, like Super Rare was just coming out and everyone was trying to get onto that. Right. OpenSea was just starting. And so, you know, people would come and share their art and like, they changed the platform. It kind of ruined it, but it was a good time. And then probably a year into Hex, I finally got like the staker app, checked my stake, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this one's legit. And then I went to the first Hex meetup about a year ago, met all the Hexkins and
was that the Vegas one or which one are you talking about?
Yeah, Vegas.
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, that one was awesome, man. It was kind of weird because I didn't know everyone knew each other from like Twitter, YouTube, and like everyone was calling each other by their Twitter handles, and they were like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm a nobody." Like, you know, I'm just meeting everybody. And since then, you know, got really involved with the community. And then about a year ago, so me and Dipcatcher have been working on. He co-founded the first startup we did. And we've been working on startups for, you know, since 2016. Our last startup was a legal tech startup that we worked on. And then about middle of last year, once Pulse Chain was announced, you know, as an entrepreneur, I wanted to build something for Pulse Chain. My initial idea was that I wanted to build I wanted to clone Uniswap. And I bought the domain. It was going to be Pulse Chain Farm. And then Richard Hart announced PulseX. I was like, okay, well, that idea is gone. You know, you gotta accept, like, you know, I'm not gonna win that one. So around that time, Dipcatcher was having some really great ideas around Hex. You know, gas fees were a real big issue. So we invented Hex Stake Pools, which is essentially a smart contract that allows people to pool Hex together and then stake in one giant stake. So we really announced and started working on it in January, launched our first pool, Maxi, in April, and that raised that pool 294 million hex and staked it for 15 years. It's been doing really well.
So say that again. So it's 249 million hex.
294. So in the 14-day launch phase, anyone could mint one Maxi token per one hex. And so during that 14 days, 294 million. And at the time, it was about $50 million of hex got pledged to the smart contract, and then that all got staked. So everyone right now is holding, that minted is holding a liquid token that basically represents ownership in that stake.
Right.
But by pooling, I'm sure your community is very familiar with Hex. By pooling, we're max. Bro, I'm telling you've onboarded more people into Hex than anyone I know. Like anytime I've asked on Twitter, like, how'd you hear about Hex? They're like, dollar cost crypto. So shout out to you for all you do, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was kind of crazy. Like that was the crazy thing about the whole event, was just meeting everybody. And like, I had a lot of people tell me that. And so I was like, bro, thank you so much for getting me into Hex and stuff. I mean, it was a really cool thing, man. But I thought it was like, I'd only heard a couple people ever tell me that. Like, it wasn't until like I started really like going to the event. Like the one that really hit me was not the first one, but the one that Maddie did in, I think, like last March or so. Like the one we did at the Excalibur, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the first ever Hex event I went to, where I was like, wow, man, my mom was like I was telling my mom, like, Mom, you birthed a star.
For real, dude.
All jokes aside, because like before, I mean, you're just doing streams and stuff, and you're just like saying hi to everybody. So I mean, obviously, like everyone, like each other, but like when you meet everyone in person, and you're like, holy crap, I have all these friends and fucking people that care about me. It's insane, dude. Like I was hella taken back.
100%, man. It's always a good time. But yeah, man. So launched that in April, and it's been performing really well on the market. It's about one Maxi equals like 2.14 hex right now. So the premium is pretty high. And then to just kind of expand Maximus DAO, we launched about a week ago. We launched 4 new pools that we call the perpetuals. Okay. So Maxi is a one-time max length 15-year stake. The perpetuals are 4 stakes of different lengths. So there's base, which is a 1-year, trio is a 3-year, Lucky's a 7-year, and Deci's a 10-year. And we call them the perpetuals because unlike Maxi, you can automatically restake. So for example, when the base stake ends in a year, you can either leave your hex in the pool and it will be automatic. You just hold your tokens, leave your hex in the pool, it'll be auto restaked. Or you can redeem by burning your base tokens and get your hex principal plus earned yield. Or you can mint more hex into the pool by minting at the new mint rate, which is equal to the current redemption value. So for base, that might be 1.12. So in a year from now, right now you can mint 1-to-1. In a year from now, the mint rate will go up to like 1.12 or something like that.
Right.
And yeah.
Because a 1-year stake is basically like 12% APR.
Exactly. Okay. So yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, you guys have created some really cool sort of because one, you're protecting people from like obviously like the gas fees, because it's like it's a team effort, as well as like on top of that, I think with the base token, what's really cool about the base token with like the overall system, because you have Maxi, which is like and you grab the Maxi token. The cool thing about the base thing is once the base actually does the payout, I think a lot of people are going to be like, holy crap, these actually do work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I had a lot of people who like, I mean, just to tell you the truth, like a lot of people that told me that they really didn't put as much as they wanted to in because they were kind of paid and stuff like that. I mean, I put some in myself personally, but
awesome.
No, for sure. I put some in myself. Yeah, but with the base one, like it's that whole thing when you give people that confidence at first, like then people are like, holy snap, and then I think the rest of these are going to do pretty well. But how much longer do people still like? Obviously, the base one's going to be kind of permanent until like it will come back in a year, basically, right?
Exactly. So these pools, they're trusted smart contracts, so they will earn yield forever. They'll just keep restaking. And yeah, so with base, that pool will reset every year, and could continue to grow pretty massively. With Deci, every 10 years. So it's like I'm sure you've talked about staking ladders with your community. It's kind of like a more flexible staking ladder because you're getting that yield over different periods of time, but you also have the freedom of liquidity at any time as well.
Right. Because you get so if I put I put 1 million hex in base, I got I get the tokens. I put 1 million in trio, I get 1 million trio. So it's all one for one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think the rules are the same for all of them. Like the only one different is probably the base one because the yield it just keeps going up over time because the t-shirt keeps going up, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'll when you look at these like Maxi on the far spectrum, and it has a lot more like wiggle room or like oscillation possibility because there's more upside on the yield, but there's also more downside for a discount, right? Whereas with base, because it's only a 1 year, it's kind of certain on daily t-shirt payout, and so it probably won't oscillate as much. It'll probably stay around that backing value a little more.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited with base because with Maxi, we don't find out how these stakes end until it happens. And we wouldn't have found out with Maxi for 15 years, but with base, we'll get to see how the market handles like approaching an end stake, whether like people decide to sell before that or, buy more, and how the price fluctuates around that backing value.
Right. Like you're basically getting a kind of like what kind of a scenario, like what kind of it's almost like you're kind of getting a psychological evaluation of what's going to end up happening like 15 years from now with Max, much with the base token. And so when the rollover happens, I do give people like 14-day to turn in their base tokens to claim their hex before you do a rolling stake. Or how much time are you giving people for the rollout for the roll?
The rollover is a 7-day period.
7-day period. Okay, got it.
Yep. So for each of those, you'll have 7 days from the stake ends, and then if you just leave it, it'll be automatically restaked. So yeah, I mean, these pools massively benefit small stakers, especially because by consolidating a lot of stakes into just one, it's just one in-stake gas fee. So 99.9% of people won't even pay starter in-stake gas fees. They'll just pay so it's much cheaper, especially on that max link stake. A lot of people were very excited about that just because that's the most expensive stake to in-stake. And so yeah, that gas fee savings is huge. That liquidity piece is huge. And then also the kind of maximizing yield by pooling with Hex. So.
Okay. So I have a question. So obviously, so for people who don't know, right, if you stake out 150 million hex in any stake, you get something that's called the bigger pays better. I mean, you always get the bigger pays better, but it maxes out at 150 million, and then you can just keep adding more hex if you like, but it maxes out. It basically gives you a 10% extra bonus to your t-shirts. Yep. So in the base one, do we know how much hex is in the base contract right now?
Let me check. So we're at 18.09 million hex right now.
Shoo.
So yeah, goal's 150. We've got 12 days left. And so we're pushing for it, man. We're trying to max these bonuses out. Something I didn't really talk about along with the perpetuals. We've added some additional, with just this innovation of like a perpetual pool. We wanted a way to ensure that future pools had a group of people that were like incentivized to grow them, right? So that's why we built what we call Maximus Team. So alongside the perpetuals, we're also going through a launch phase with Maximus Team, which you can mint 1-to-1 with Maxi. And then you can stake that and earn rewards from the perpetuals. So the perpetuals share 50% of the bigger pays better bonus, the hex earned from the bigger pays better bonus with team stakers. So the team stakers are incentivized to grow these perpetuals and max out those bonuses to increase their rewards.
Right. So it's so basically to get team, you need Maxi.
Exactly. Right? Yep. So, and that stake period is a 1-year stake period. So it follows base. And so if you remain staked for that full 1 year, you're going to earn rewards from that year. So this first year, it will just be from base. year 2 will be from base, and then year 3 will be from base. Base and trio are both rewarding team stakers. And then also something with team is 30% of the maxi used to mint team is going into a smart contract we call the maxi 369 rebate.
Yeah.
So in years 3, 6, and 9, that 30% is going to be rewarded back to team stakers. So year 3 is really big for team because you're earning from base, trio, and the 369 rebate.
Right. So that's going to be basically in 2025, which will be sometime between now-ish to like maybe October-ish, probably. I'm going to guess. Yeah, September, October-ish area.
Yeah,
so you guys
it's going to be exciting.
No. Just time travel. I'm going to use this clip. All right, you guys, I'm going to clip this. See you in 2025, you guys. And we're back. And then I like really
Dude, yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. And the cool thing about this contract, like, say we launched more pools in the future, we now have a way to trustlessly distribute rewards to our members. So Maximus Team is really like the Maximus DAO member token. We really wanted a way to share kind of in the success of Maximus DAO. So yeah, it's exciting and kind of, you know, with Maxi, because people are definitely making that decision, like Maxi or team, because you're obviously minting with Maxi. And Maxi's kind of more bound to the yield it'll earn from Hex, whereas team is kind of uncapped in that upside with having already, you know, 5 reward systems that are paying it and with the potential for more in the future. So it could do really well.
So how does it generate I mean, so is there any, so I'm guessing there is fees in the pools and stuff. So obviously, like, let's just talk about, as an example, right? We'll use the easiest math, I'm guessing. So let's go to perpetuals real quick. And if I had a guesstimate, right, Desi is probably going to have the most, right? Like, do we know how much Desi has right now?
Desi's at, let me refresh this. So it's at 67.44 million Hex right now.
So about a third of the way of the full bigger pays better bonus.
Yeah.
So what fees do you charge for doing this? Obviously, I know, like, I mean, how much of a fee are you generating from this that is giving the team token this kind of like ability to pay yield or pay out some sort of payout?
Yeah, so it's 50% of the Hex earned from the bigger pays better bonus. So you know, I'd have to do the math on. I did have a calculator. I don't know if I have it up. But yeah, essentially you can calculate based off of the yield earned from these pools from the bigger pays better bonus, and then team stakers earn half of that. And then they also earn I forgot to mention they also earn all the hedron from the perpetuals as well.
Interesting, yeah, and then as well as probably the P ones as well once they convert over and stuff like that. Yeah,
right. Yeah, everything's gonna be copied over.
Damn, that's really cool right now. So basically, you have like kind of like you essentially are earning like 4 incomes from each pool, and then that gets into the team tokens. Okay, later, yeah. So it's
crazy, yeah. Like the like it's very apparent, you know, since people have started joining team, like our Twitter has kind of just been blowing up with people promoting the perpetuals and onboarding new people to Hex, which is really the intention. You know, everything we're doing, we really are trying to expand Hex and kind of bring new utility, kind of a new narrative, and yeah, people are really excited about it.
Dude, this is really cool, man. I think you've honestly did something that was, I mean, it is needed. Like, there's just some people, you know, it is that whole minnow sort of thing, but like at the same time too, some people are like I'm greedy and I keep my Hex for myself and stuff, or like, you know, whatever the hell it is. But no, I mean, I think this is really cool for a smaller player, as well as I think the team token is, I mean, from everything you've told me, and it's going to do pretty well.
Yeah.
But you do need to have the team token staked, or is the maxi token that's staked to get the team token? That just
no.
So
I
really ask the most like kindergarten question so everyone understands.
Perfect.
You know? So
yeah. So to get team, you'll mint it 1-to-1 with maxi. So that's basically pledging your maxi to the contract, and you receive the team tokens. And then once you have the team tokens, you can stake those tokens to earn rewards. So you have to remain staked for that whole period to earn rewards. And there's also a 3.69% early end stake penalty, which so that actually makes team supply deflationary, because it kind of works like Hex, where when you stake it, your tokens are actually burned, and then when you unstake, they're reminted. So that penalty, when people early unstake, that team is just never reminted, so it'll cause the supply to go down.
So when you get paid, obviously, because you're not going to earn any yield until like the first 1 year contract unlocks, and then is that going to be paid out in Hex, or is that going to be paid out in something like is the payout just going to be in Hex and Hedron, or is it going to be all converted to Hex, or how is that going to work out in the background to give you yield?
Yeah, so from the perpetuals, it'll be Hex and Hedron. Okay. From the Maxi 369 rebate, it'll be Maxi. The crazy thing about team, though, is if someone were to send, we have a whitelisted token list. If someone were to just send those tokens, or those tokens to the contract address, those actually go into the reward pool that can be claimed by team stakers as well. So it's got a lot of potential for just earning a lot of rewards. And the idea again is to kind of continue the perpetual growth of these pools and maxing out bonuses. Right.
So basically, in terms of the max supply of team is basically the max supply of Maxi, which is like 294 million Maxi. Team tokens. Okay, got it. But not everyone's obviously going to mint them as well. So there will be a limited amount of team tokens. So when you decide to stake your Maxi, are you forfeiting your Maxi to get the team, or how does that work?
You are, yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So as of right now, 37.09 million Maxi has been used to mint team.
Could you say that again one more time?
37 million Maxi has been used to mint team. So as of right now, that's where it's at, and you have 12 days left to join Maximus team.
Interesting. People are like, the diamond hands are very interesting.
So this is actually, it's crazy. We're launching so much right now. We actually just, I'll describe the new product we just launched last night. But I mean, the biggest driver for us, like since we launched Maxi, like when we were launching Maxi, we thought that was like right before we launched it May, or the stake started May 1st. And that was when the min-May craze was going on. And that was honestly our biggest push to get these contracts out before Pulse Chain, to double our community's bags, because it's not a sacrifice. When you mint our tokens, you get them immediately, so you will get all your tokens copied over to Pulse Chain. But even now, like that's been a huge driver for us to get these ones out, so that everyone could get their copy on Pulse Chain as well for these. So we've just been like pumping out stuff. The thing we just launched or announced last night was what someone mentioned. We call it Maximus Diamond Hands, and it's actually essentially the same contract as Maximus Team for staking, but it's for the perpetuals. So essentially, how it'll work is we hope to launch in the next maybe 2 days, but if you want, you can time lock your perpetual tokens for a chance to kind of amplify your yield. And that yield comes from, it's called Diamond Hands because the people that stay till the end, that stay for the whole stake, are rewarded. Whereas the early in-stake people pay a penalty, and that penalty goes to the people that diamond handed that stake. So it's super simple game theory. It's kind of just a way, a lot of people use these pools as just a way to save gas and maximize yield for Hex staking. So for those people, it's kind of a way to earn more.
Right. And then that's being paid. And then how are the people being paid? I mean, how is there like an early end stake one? Is that just because people are like selling their perpetual tokens on them in the open market instead of some people just holding it in the wallet?
So people will use their perpetual tokens, and the stake length is the length of that, the length of that stake. So for base, it'll be a 1 year stake, Trio 3, Lucky 7, Desi 10. And we actually haven't determined the early unlock penalty. We're trying to talk to our community and find out what people want that to be. but that will be rewarded in that perpetual token. So, when people stake and they early unstake early, let's say the penalty is 15%, that 50% of their base tokens, for example, will go into the reward bucket, and then that will be claimable to the true diamond hands that stake the whole time.
Right. And I'm guessing there's probably gonna be a fee for you guys as well as a team, in order to be able to on some of these perpetual tokens when there's a fee, right? When
there's no fee on that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all going yield. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not one of these people that get mad at like people putting in stuff for them to be able to make some, generate, because development is expensive as well as time consuming, and then obviously people could lose their hair. It's stress.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's really cool, dude. You guys have built
super simple.
You guys built a fucking tight system, dude. I really like it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we're just getting started. A lot of people wanted us to just launch another max link stake. But we didn't want to like compete with Maxi. It doesn't make sense right now. So we really wanted to really utilize a strategy that Hexkins use today, which is a staking ladder. So a lot of people already understand it. And it's even more flexible just because you're holding a liquid token. So I'm very happy with where we're at with what we've got, and excited for diamond hands to come out too. It'll be interesting to see. And the thing with diamond hands too is it's completely optional and there's no token for it. So you can choose to just hold your liquid stake pool tokens, or you can participate in that time lock game.
Got it. And then pretty much, so, and that'll launch in like 2-ish days, more or less.
Yeah. We're trying to launch it as soon as possible because you'll need to stake your perpetual tokens before the mint period ends. So we're like pushing. I think Dipcatcher actually finished the contract yesterday. He was testing it today, and we're trying to get a quick turnaround on an audit before we launch it. So,
got it.
Yeah, man, we're moving right now.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. And I hear the Dipcatcher section in the chat right here is like, staking base in the pool will save you about 99% on gas fees. You'll earn more yield versus staking on your own. You can always sell it anytime. Yeah, because on top of that, you also are getting the bigger pace, better bonus as well. Together. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's pretty cool. Yeah, even with only half of that bonus, it's still more than you would get by yourself. So you'd still still get more money, or more hex, I should say. Oh, that's damn. Hey man, that's the power of whale status, I guess.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think whales also love these pools. I mean, they don't care about gas fees as much, but I think savvy investors really understand the power of liquidity. And, that's why a lot of whales are doing these like rolling stakes, is because, they make a lot and they're constantly liquid. So yeah, it's kind of something for everybody. There's a lot of exciting game theory behind it, but it's also, in my mind, making hex staking a lot more simple. You don't, like, most people will just buy hex, mint the perpetuals, and either hold it or now they can stake it. Most people could just like literally just mint their tokens, hold it, and then redeem at the end. And there's no real pressure on making sure you're like, watching the clock, or watching the date to make sure you end it, or stressing out about not being able to end your stake for gas fees depending on the market. Right. So I'm definitely excited for this, for base to be kind of the first one to end, and people to be able to redeem and see it's real. So
yeah, it's gonna be really. Do we know more or less what time it will be? I guess you'll know pretty much after, because the pools end in 12 days or so, or 14 days. Yeah,
exactly. So from that point, I believe it might be. I don't know if it's exactly 365 days, but it's around a year. So be awesome.
So September 29th or the 30th, basically, it's gonna come up. Yeah. So shout out to Future.
We're also kind of running a little side campaign project we're calling Project Hex, which is a challenge for everyone in our community to onboard 5 people that they know to get on board with Hex. So it's cool. If you can get someone into MetaMask with Hex, they can very easily mint their perpetual tokens. So we're trying to push that. So if you guys want to help grow Hex, we're pushing that right now.
Heck yeah, man. And I obviously I told you some of the stuff we're working on in the background right now.
Yeah.
Can't say anything yet, but you know what it is, right? It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. A lot of big stuff coming for Hex. I can't, my lips are tied, but a lot of exciting stuff coming, man. I would be buying Hex right now before it happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not financial advice, but I mean,
not financial advice.
But you know what? Let me get a little. I gotta get a little. Woo!
Hey,
yeah, man. I mean, this is pretty cool, man. So I mean, I think you guys are coming up with a suite of products that are really useful and they're Hex positive, as well as just help the overall Hex again. But on top of that, like create game theory and as well as more incentives to stake and not like and hodl and play this game with chicken a little bit here and there. With tokens and stuff. Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, so for me, like I was talking about how I got into Hex. When I got in early, I just full sent it, and I 15-year stakes. All I had at the beginning. So, to see the price run up, and I'm sure a lot of people felt this too, like to see the price run up 10,000x, like I'm grateful that I have these stakes because they're, extremely valuable now. But at the same time, like a lot of people that held Hex liquid or short, like stakes shorter were able to capitalize on that price run. So for me, like with these liquid tokens, it's like you are able to earn maximum yield while having that option for liquidity at any time too. So, hopefully like that's kind of diving into like some game theory, but with timing, like the next bull market, what's your opinion on when you think we're running?
What a loaded fucking question.
That's the $1 billion question right now.
Give me the chicken bones. What are the like? What is like Auntie Cleo say about when the like? Well, I would say next year is pretty much the year for Pulse Chain. If I'm being honest, like so next year, I mean we're pretty much going to be like a shining city at the top of the hill when it comes to basically being like the hype train and like I think we're going to be one of the major like themes of next year.
Yeah.
But in terms of when this really starts cracking off, I would pretty much say at the end of 23 to 24, we're full back in the bull market again. But we're going to be like the first thing that's going to be out the gate, kind of doing very well. I think I said this on my last. No, I may have said this on Moon Gang on Charlie from Cultivate Crypto's channel, which was I said in no order basically that Pulse Chain, and that when I say Pulse Chain, that includes Hex and everything, Maxi, all basically anything that's in the kind of the Hex ecosystem. That's going to be a major thing for 2023. GameFi. Ethereum is going to be a huge one just because like people are still not quite understanding like how powerful, even though the merge is kind of like it's like right on us. It's like it should be in the next couple of days. And the merge will happen, but the merge effects will really take it's kind of like the halvening, like we have a pump for the halvening, and then but usually after the Bitcoin halvening happens 6 months later, we start kind of running a little bit, right? Well, if you make Ethereum rare and you make Ethereum rare, you have more people go from spending it to hodling it, and then there's literally like billions of dollars a year less of sell pressure. It pushes the price up. So and obviously Hart's law and stuff like that when with like reflexive pools and stuff. The more the higher the price of Ethereum goes, it kind of just ends up carrying the rest of the market up. So you have this whole thing where like you could literally have like a tripling in the Ethereum price would be 3,000, not all time high. It's just kind of chilling $3,300, but that would literally triple every other token. And there's kind of a weird thing where like an underperforming token will do 80% of what Ethereum does. So that leftover 20% of money pulls up in the best products. And that money gets kind of given to the top. So you end up having products that literally could go 15 times, 20 times their market cap and stuff. So versus now, and that's not that far off. So that means like beginning of quarter three, maybe end of quarter two, we're already starting to see a pretty large recovery. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be some socioeconomic like kind of problems and stuff. I mean, we definitely are going to have by the middle of next year. Like so it's like we have a lot of good things, but a lot of kind of shitty things kind of happening.
Yeah.
Like so obviously in November we have a lot of people getting their jobs back or losing their jobs when it comes to the House of Representatives and the Senate. Once all these things end up happening, these fucking motherfuckers are going to start coming after. It's true. These motherfuckers will start putting legislation against crypto for the first time, mostly stable coins, but there is going to be regulation against cryptos as well. So we were going from no regulation to some regulation, which is no matter what happens, it's going to be a little negative, right? There's going to be some restrictions. So we're going to have some FUD stuff, but regardless or not, as long as really, I'm not even watching Bitcoin. Like, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Bitcoin. It's like, it's the gold, it's boomer money in crypto terms. But even though it's respected in the traditional markets, it's like Ethereum is really like the fucking thing of like all of crypto, right? So but with all these kind of events are happening with Ethereum, we're putting the rest of crypto and DeFi in a much better sort of state, as well as because of all these. I mean, Richard has talked about it as well too. Is like with these major upgrades happening on Ethereum, there's no upgrade really for gas. So what's going to happen is that's going to push more people towards Pulse Chain, which this is why I'm saying we're kind of got like kind of wind at our back. And that's not even including all the stuff with the movie that I do believe the movie's going to come out before the end of the year, which would be really cool. So
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Have you heard any word on that getting like Netflix?
I've heard some stuff. I've definitely heard some stuff. Good. I don't know if I can say everything, but if they do choose going with Netflix, we're gonna have more stuff coming out. Like that's all I can say.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
But it doesn't even matter. Like is that like the person I've told you about like in private earlier? Yeah, he can pretty much just help out. And like let's just say for some reason we couldn't get it on Netflix, we just have it like spam launched across all platforms, and we'd be able to get it. We'd be able just through guerrilla marketing. I mean, have it like. Which would be kind of poetic in a way, because that's always how it's happening anyway. But if basically it's like if we don't get into Netflix, we'll go to Hulu. It doesn't matter which platform, as long as we get on some platform, HBO Max, Hulu, any platform's a fucking W, because it's people we don't have. So we have like 100. I think we just crossed like 110,000 like Hex stakers. Like which is the number I really watch. So if we manage from getting the movie, we go to an extra 40,000, 50,000 Hex stakers. Even if it's not a lot of Hex that they're staking, this really sucks up a lot of the liquid supply of Hex and actually can really drive the price a lot higher on Hex itself, which then in turn drives up the price of the Maxi token as well as all the perpetual tokens.
Absolutely.
It's just a brute force, like force amplifier. That goes out throughout the system, because the same larger effect that we're talking about Ethereum boosts up the market cap. So imagine you have Ethereum tripling in price, then Hex doing this as well. So you have a tripling in the Ethereum price, and then you have a 10xing in the Hex price. So the ratchet of like what you can do on tokens that are part of that. So it's like having like a bunch of linchpins. So it's like this shoots up, that shoots up, and then the other tokens at the end of it are just going to go like to the sky. So you can get some crazy price volatility to the upside, which is fucking beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like a lot of people talk about Hex being decorrelated. I don't know. I feel like sometimes at the macro level of what's going on in the world, and just TradFi and Bitcoin and Ethereum, everything just feels really slow right now. And I don't know, so do you think that if the traditional markets don't do you think crypto and Ethereum could break free kind of from its correlation to more traditional markets?
Oh, yes. I mean, over time, we'll break the correlation, but in temporary spouts and stuff like that, we could have a nice little run that's counter trend and stuff, but typically we're gonna be correlated, because the overall market, I mean, it's kind of how Richard says the bull market won't really start. Like we could have we're so niched in that we have products that aren't like the main crypto products that we could do extremely well. I mean, we did very well with Hedron, right? I mean, not the low in that shit, but but you know, there's like that sort of thing. Like when you're so niche into a thing, like even this, like even though Maximus I think is amazing, it is a very niche product. If you think about it, how many people in the world, like you have to be a hexagon in the know, paying attention. Even there's like people who own Hex who don't know, like, what the fuck is Hedron and Maxi, or what the hell is it? Like they barely even know what pulse chain. I mean, they're just walking across this earth like blind, like what's going on, you know? And there's people who are actually paying attention that know about this thing, but you have to the niche, if you could think about it in terms of the funnel, right, of like the total amount of people that are in the world that know about crypto, how many people know about Hex, how many people know about these products? The gangsters do.
Totally.
But we're talking about a subsect, so it's like 100,000 people, if we believe the numbers, right? Of that, how many people are in Maximus? It's literally like a percentile.
Totally. Yeah, it's very, very neat. Like, I think one thing that kind of separates the Hex community is like a lot of people did very well in Hex. So like even within a smaller subset of people, like the resources that they've been able to accumulate the past 2 years is
pretty my boy Green.
For real. Like people have like changed their life, and you know, those people are now inspired to change more people's lives, and they have more resources to do it. I mean, look at all the things that Hexen have been doing this, you know, past 2 years. It's a very like pay it forward type of community, and I feel like it's just getting started. And I think it's much harder to onboard new people. Like it's during a bull market. I mean, this is just across the board with all crypto, right? Like people saw the Dogecoin run and the Bitcoin run, and like that's when everyone wants to hop in. I mean, same thing was going on with Hex, right? Like you just show your staker app and be like, check this out. And they're like, oh my God, let me get in on that. Bear markets are a lot harder, although it's like way more beneficial. This is the time to be onboarding new people because they're going to see a much higher upside than the people that got in, you know, on that run to 55 or 50. But it is harder. So that's what I'm like love about what we're doing with Maximus. I feel like we're bringing kind of some new energy into the Hex ecosystem through this bear market, and also just kind of bringing a new narrative too, right? Like I think a lot of people, you know, the time locking aspect of Hex kind of pulled them back, even though if they held Hex liquid, it's a good move. But this gives them a chance to hop in with staking too, and not, you know, have to cross that like locking up money piece.
Right. Yeah. I mean, ooh, there's some stuff I'll tell you in the background, man. I really wish I know some shit, Rose, but no, there is that whole thing. So it's like, yeah, there's this huge powerful effect, because at the end of the day, right, like this is actually something me and Kareem were talking to with shout out to MK, but me and Kareem were talking to MK about, as well as we were talking to ourselves about, of like how powerful like the yield off of 1 year is really good, but if you're able to hold that in Hexa's multiples and you're able to sell at a decent price, it's like you win more than the yield, right?
Totally.
At 2 years, it starts amplifying, but still like no. 3 years, okay, it's starting to get, it's a little bit more, but it's the whole thing where when you get past the average, where you start having those 7 years, it's kind of like the lucky side of it, right? Like the lucky side where it's like it really starts compounding on itself, where like it it's down so much, and you're like, it's not even down, because it's like I'm up so much, or like the like even if X stop moving, you're up. That like it's got a lot of downside protection for you, because that 38% APR, it's simple interest, but not compounding, but you know, it starts adding up for your account as well. As I mean, obviously this is speculation. You know, we do believe like with 7 years from now that Hex is going to be higher than fucking 4 cents. Shout out to Future Miguel. We're gonna be like, shout out to Future Golkey. Like we're like the dum-dums that didn't buy more Hex.
I know, man. I mean, it's like the people that, I mean, you look back on early Hex, but you also like 2020 hindsight, right? Like, like I don't think a lot of people appreciate how skeptical everyone was, even if they were in Hex, of like, is this thing gonna work out? Like it was a very like questionable thing. Shout out to like the OG people that fully believed then, right? They like were streaming every single day, that like kind of made Hex what it is today and got the word out, because like no one really believed, and there wasn't really you know, you didn't have a market history of like price performance to look back on and be like, okay, this thing's legit. It was really like a belief in Richard Hart and the game theory. And, you know, those people that believed more are the ones that are winning today. And that same thing is happening right now, but now you have even more assurance because you've seen what it does and you've seen this community grow. So that being said, it's just a really good time to be Hex, man.
No, I mean, definitely. I mean, it's such a great amount. I mean, like, I'm still buying Hex and staking, which is like, I think people are like, what?
Yeah.
But like, you know, this is go to the power of being able to sell like tops and buying bottoms and stuff like that. You know, this is like, this is a lot of the power and stuff for that and stuff. And I've been able to use some of that wealth to and buy other tokens and stuff. Shout out Maxi, but shout out baby. But
awesome, man.
And continue the propagation of the land baron DCC. Eventually, I will own the Citadel and stuff and create the Citadel. And awesome. For anyone who's watching the stream, please look in the description of the stream. You literally there's Maximus DAO as well as Goldkey's Twitter as well and stuff. So it's got all the information for the guest as well as where to go to Maximus DAO as well as to join the Citadel, which is where we drop a bunch of alpha. We're gonna have this huge fight club that we're gonna be doing pretty soon and stuff in the Telegram chat. The Citadel is basically $100 a month subscription service for a Telegram chat where we basically it's a place where you can talk to me and Charlie and the rest of the guys from the Moon Gang and kind of get our take on stuff as well as like there's things we just can't say on YouTube on there, as well as like you'll be the first ones to be able to get into like some of the exclusive parties that we end up kind of throwing and stuff like that. Like last time we threw this gigantic 3-story mansion party and stuff. I mean, we had trapeze artists, we had ladies hanging from the fucking ceiling and shit. We had mermaids, we had DJs, we had fucking craps baccarat, fucking like I mean, we had like all types of gambling. We had bartenders on 3 different floors and stuff. We had chicks everywhere. We had dance. I mean, it was really cool. And that's just the mansion party itself. That wasn't even like the next day. We had a gigantic pool party where all of us were just getting shit faced by the pool, just getting baked in the pool. And then afterwards, we like us and like I think it was like obviously some people had to leave and stuff, but we went 50 plus deep into the into the club and stuff. Like I'm talking about like, the bottle service, and we're popping bottles and champagne and shit. I couldn't post some of the stuff in there because like we had to protect the innocent. But there's a lot of stuff that I seen me. That's right. I seen me a mermaid. Yes, she was wonderful. But
that's crazy, man.
That's the level of like the stuff where we were able to do events for people, and it was only for the people that were inside the Citadel and the crypto mindset courses and stuff like that. And then obviously for people who don't know, like I mean, I don't know like how did you find my stream? but for people who don't know, I do the crypto mindset with me and Charlie.
Hey,
right there, and then there's the Citadel. So if you want to click that, boom, it's right there.
That's awesome, man.
But
when are you dropping the book?
The book? Well, maybe the movie and stuff. But like, we might be actually doing something in the next. Well, maybe shouldn't have said. Oh well, too late now.
No, I'm just messing with you, man. Yeah, I think people would, if you wrote a book though, I think people would buy it for sure, man.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, write a book, my God. But at some point, we probably will make a movie about this whole time. Like I do plan on making like maybe me and Charlie at some point where we'll make a crypto mindset movie or something like that. But like for people who don't know, like we do the crypto mindset every single quarter on our and stuff, and we've been like the largest onboarder of Hex verifiably. Yeah, like we just through the courses and stuff. Now we're in terms of courses, we're about 9,000 people we've helped through the courses. But in terms of our products and services and stuff, we've helped we've had about maybe 11,000 people through products and stuff. So we've helped a lot of people, and then of those people, all of them are Hexicans who have staked and stuff. So we've gotten like of that 110,000 stakers, there's probably like 10,000 that was us, which is kind of crazy.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to you for you've been on your hustle, man, and I respect that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. And then man, and great looking DAO. That's right, from Steve with the $2 super chat, man. Heck yeah, man. And I know Heck yeah, man. And there's another super chat as well that was said earlier and stuff. Steve S. Miguel, do you give ICO consultations on finishing a mortgage-backed crypto white paper? Yeah, I do. I do. Just DM me on Twitter and stuff, and then we can talk about like I guess pretty much pricings and stuff like that in terms of like what's going on with the project. But definitely, Steve S. Just hit me up in the DM. I'll let you slide in. But yeah, man. I mean that's pretty much what's going on with that and stuff. So definitely join up the Citadel, you guys, as well as like follow this beautiful man on Instagram as well as myself. And like, do you have an Instagram? Actually, I think you do.
You can follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Gold. Okay. It's so gold and then K3Y_. That's where I'm more active. Man, I've been so focused on this launch and just Maximus DAO for like the past 8 months. I have not been posting on Instagram. Do you ever feel like, I mean, your crypto life is more like connected to your real life, but I feel like since I've gotten into crypto, I've been just so much more online than like in the real world. Like there's just kind of like this crazy separation, and I don't know, but yeah, after this launch, I need to take a little vacation or something. But
yeah. Yeah, definitely. For the longest time, yeah, I felt like my life was completely separate. Like it was almost like I would come home and I was playing a video game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would like work all day in my like my landscape businesses and stuff. And I would come home and I would stream with this fucking dirty, stinky, smelly pirate. And this dirty hexologist, this alien probe motherfucker, and this Captain Knuckles. And all these like dirt bags, and this guy who doesn't sell coffee anymore. And,
that's so funny.
This guy named Funding Jim who doesn't sell gyms for some reason. But all these
the most unique names.
Yeah, these dirt bags, scallywags from the original Hex team and shit. You know, it would be totally. And like my life did not at all. Like mix it all. These people who were like, Miguel does a little crypto stuff. They would just, and that's it. It wouldn't be anything.
Yeah, totally.
Is when I went full time with the courses where I actually transferred off like my businesses to my brothers, and I went full into crypto basically. And then from there, it became my whole life. And then on top of that it really was like a lot of the Fresh and Fit interview. Like I had a lot of family members, like when I did the Fresh and Fit interviews, they were like, "What the fuck?" They're like, "You're famous." Shit. Yeah. Man. Like. I'm seriously doing this stuff now, you know?
Yeah. It's like, it just like where our mind space is all the time. We're just like thinking about game theory and tokenomics and like watching markets. And most people just don't care about that, right? Like you said, like, oh, they're just in crypto. But it's good, right? It's good to talk to people that are outside of crypto, because I feel like that's where you really learn what you know, is by teaching other people or just telling other people, because they'll ask questions and you have to answer and you kind of figure out like what you actually know. So that's good. I mean, obviously with the launch, like shout out to my girlfriend. The first Maxi launch, I didn't sleep for like 7 days, man. It was like just nonstop streaming, and like same thing here. This one's a little longer. That one was 14 days. This one's 21 days. So I'm trying to pace a little better. But these last 12 days were going hard and pumping the perpetuals. So, but it's going good so far. A lot of Hex has already been pledged, which, you know, once this mint phase ends, all this Hex is staked, which is essentially burned. So huge net positive for Hex.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, that's a really cool sort of thing you're doing right there. Like, I mean, I obviously I can't compare to what I'm doing versus what you're doing, because like, but in terms of, I got a little bit of an idea in terms of stress when you're launching a product. It's
totally,
you don't get any sleep at all, and like at least from this, obviously we're in a bear market right now, but I damn near killed myself for I literally like, even now, like since like the courses started, we're trying to sell the courses, and we're flying to Miami, doing all the stuff there, do the courses themselves, come back, then have to fly back to Miami with Richard to go do all the stuff with Richard.
It's crazy.
Then finish the courses, and then on top of that, then we have this event, the whole pulse chain event. And then on top of that, you know, all the secret stuff we've been doing in the background and stuff, like setting stuff. It's like, it's been like, it felt like I haven't like not took my foot off the gas. And it's like,
dude, absolutely. No, you know exactly what I'm talking about, man. Like
Yeah.
you're a builder, you know, building out like an education, like empire is serious work, man, and changing people's lives. Like that's what we're really in it for, right? Like I genuinely believe in what we're building to save a ton of people on gas and get people into Hex. And, you know, you're doing the same thing with getting people in. And, you know, just look at the comment section. Like people really learned a lot from you. So that's awesome, man.
Thank you so much. Actually, let me give a shout out to Steve S. I learned so much from the crypto mindset course. I was able to fill out a crypto patent. Damn, dude, that's fucking DCC. Thanks, man. Hey, dude, holy crap, man. That's like really, yeah. We've had a lot of.
What are you teaching these people, man? That's crazy.
a lot of shit, dude. A lot of
that's
like,
awesome.
The one thing that I'm very proud of is like when we do we're so thorough and we're such good teachers in crypto that when people join the courses, they instantly become like the crypto guy in their whole family. Like the guy, like so.
Yeah.
If it could be you could be the woman or the guy or the brother, the cousin, doesn't matter. You take the course after about like 3 months of like after you're taking the course and you've been in the chats and stuff, you literally become like the crypto person in the family. Like it's like the grandma's like, Mijo, please help me with the wallet and stuff. Like you become the guy in your whole family. Like I don't think people realize like how like crazy that is. Like. In terms of like what we do there, but like that's why we're like, I mean, shit, we're the biggest crypto course in the world, and like that's not going to change, man. So we're going to keep pushing.
You're just getting started, bro.
We're just getting started. I mean, dude, like any competitors that we did have, they're like, I talked to a couple of them and shit, and they're down 95%.
Yeah,
we're not down 95% at all.
That's crazy.
At all.
Man.
Like we're actually expanding and growing. Like we actually grew, which is insane. Like that, like. You know, and I can't imagine where we're going to be years from now. And the same thing too with Maxi. Like you built something really beautiful here, and it's long last. This is like legitimately, at the very least, the Maxi, the team token, is a 15-year endeavor minimum.
Totally.
Minimum.
Mm-hmm. And it's only going to get better, right? I mean, just think of the network effect you're creating right now, and into the next, you know, crypto craze when we hit that bull run, and everyone's like, "What should I buy? What should I buy?" You've built an army of people that are up big, and they can show their friends, and you were giving them the knowledge to, you know, to teach other people. So like, I think, you know, don't underestimate that impact on just how crazy that really will get. Because it's truly, I mean, again, like when we were in Vegas, every person I met and asked like, how'd you get into Hex? They all were like, DCC, man. Like, so it's pretty wild how your reach and just how many people you've brought in, man. It's awesome.
I'm going to continue to do it because I mean, I believe in Hex. I believe in this community, but I also believe in the overall crypto space. Like we give the tools and stuff like that. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on is like, this is a fucking major tool for people. And I want people like to like, I mean, obviously I still like would recommend people to still stake some Hex on themselves. At the same time too, like why not have a rolling stake? That seems like the base token seems a great idea. To tell you the truth, I like the lucky token myself.
Yeah.
But because I like front running, but like because the trio, like all right, that's shit on the trio. Here we go. We're about to get some heated shit. Like, Cole's about to pull up the fence. Touch shit on the trio token to go. What are you doing? But like, you know, 2025 is kind of borderline where we could be in the beginning of the bear, where it's still in the peak. So it's really like because like 23 is going to be a great year for us. The overall market might just be like we're still, that might be like our 2020, 2019. Yeah, 2024 is more than likely going to be like woo, we're running, and that 25 is kind of teetering there. So that trio token is one of the like, ooh, that might be a really nice one. Yeah, or like, oh, we're going down a little bit, but like, but there's no way in 3 years we're at 4 fucking cents that we're not like just like kicking rocks like, oh, we're 81 cents right now. Oh man. Yeah. We were at $25 or like $6, $7, and we were fucking losers at 4 at like 80 cents. You know, like you know how it is because like the set basis, like you get that like you get that hit right there. You're chasing the dragon, and like that first time we ever hit $1 is gonna be incredible, right? But crazy. But when I was in Miami with Richard, and I told him like, yo, like 10,000x was nice, but that 100,000x sounds nicer and shit. Like $5.56. I think that sounds pretty nice. And he was like, that does have a good ring to it.
That's so crazy meta, man. Bro, I remember for me, like 10 cents was, for some reason, I just like distinctly remember, because I think it was like leading up to like Pulse Chain Sacrifice, but I remember 10 cents, it was like just the craziest, you know, kind of like threshold. And then it was just like, it just went crazy after that. What was like the hex price that just like you remember the most as kind of like, holy shit, this is taking off?
It was a penny, bro. A
Really?
penny for me. A penny. Like until we hit a penny, it was all fairy dust to me.
Yeah.
It was fair. Like I was like where I did a majority of my staking was legitimately from like right before we hit a penny to like fairy dust, basically. Yeah. Honest staking there. I still do now, but there was like a period of time basically from like 5 cents to like 40 cents where I didn't do much staking until I started taking profits for about 40 cents. And then when I started rebuying at like 18, 11, 8, 5, and I think I caught 4. So I'm at 4. I need to do a purchase at 4. So FYI.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to pump the price on me, it's your chance. But I didn't get, because I had some students that were just like talking so much shit to me, like, we got the 2.8 cents, bro. And then, you know, talking all this jazz.
They caught that?
Yeah, they caught that, and I was so like, motherfuckers.
Damn, bro, I remember that. That was a quick, like, you had to be on your shit, man.
Yeah, they had some limit orders. They had limit orders. Yeah, but it's because like I was YouTubing about Hex forever and stuff. And, I mean, yeah, you were around the community, so you know, like it was like, hey, what's the price of Hex? It is 13% of a penny. That was at least, like, I actually got pretty happy when we finally went to like 1% of a penny, because I could finally say, okay, we're 1% of a penny, right? It sounds nicer. We used to say, okay, it is 1%. It is 1% of 90% of a penny. Like, it's like so ridiculous that I would just say it's like the Hex price is fairy dust. I just call it fairy dust. Right? And then finally, when I said like, yo, Hex is a penny. For me, that's when it became like, when Hex hit a penny was this magic moment of like, it's money. It's
real. Yeah.
Whoa. It's like crazy, because like I legitimately, like, me and Charlie, when I got Charlie to come over to the dark side. It's like, because he was like, you know, shout out to my boy. He was kind of, you know, they were kind of iffy about, I mean, you know, the flood storm and stuff with like.
Oh, totally. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was the crazy flood storm. But once the flood storm kind of like went away, and then people started like, oh, okay, this might be something, right? We talked about, you know, like we started telling about, okay, this is Hex right here. Let me tell you what my thoughts are. Is there anything we can compare like Hex to that, like, what kind of run it could have? Because at the time, like, Richard was saying 10,000x, but that wasn't computing it. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, we didn't even know. Like, we were just so stupid back in the day. We're like, what's the fucking low? We're like, I know, right? Like, I think it was 8 months in before someone's like, I think the low was like 56 or so. I think because Richard started doing the whole thing, like the bottom is, he really started doing he had to like spoon feed us like the X's for us to like, oh, okay, got it, right?
Yeah.
But like the only thing we can compare to, because we literally went to the market cap sites and we went through like time served as well as like supply of coins and stuff, and like how many X's it did. The only thing that we could find comparable that had any history was Dogecoin to Hex. And so basically I was like, dude, if Hex could do what Doge did, and Doge went to 8 cents.
Yeah.
I think Hex can. And so I was like, wow, we hit the 8 cent, like it was that penny and 8 cent mark. Where I was like, yeah, fuck, we did with like Pulse. I mean, what Doge did. Like, that's insane. And I was like,
crazy.
And like Hex is a better meme on top of it. It actually has functionality and stuff. And I was like, holy crap. So when we started pumping to 13, 18, like the most surrealist shit is when we hit like 25 cents. And I was like,
that was crazy.
We're out here. Like, shout out to all my Hex. Like, dude, it was like, all right, this is a stack of hundreds. People are like, shout out Hex Flex, baby. HexFlex.com.
That was a wild time, dude. That run from like
how
10.
The fuck did we not know that was gonna happen, bro? How did we not know that was the top? Like, come on, like every Hex gets like, shout out HexFlex, bro, HexFlex. Like, it was like the girls.
We should have known.
Like, new purses and shit. Everyone was on the beach.
Bro, we learned, bro. I mean, damn, yeah. I mean, that was when everyone was like, Hex to $1, man. And like the way it was running, like, you know, it's like, why wouldn't you think it would keep running? There were probably a few people that called that top, but I mean, I was definitely like, I didn't see any reason why, because like with Pulse Chain, that run was happening right around Pulse Chain sacrifice. So in my mind, I was like, all this liquidity is off the market. Why, you know, what impact is that going to have? And you know, unfortunately, that was kind of the top, and we are where we are today. But I mean, I just had like, out of any crypto, it's just like, there's even through this crazy, you know, year-long bear market, like Hex bear market, everyone still believes in it, right? And you know, I think staking definitely has an impact on that, just because, you know, what else are you going to do? Like, your Hex is locked. But also just like, people love this community and they love the product and they love Richard Hart, and they're, you know, even through this crazy bloody bear market, we're still having a good time, and like, we're just looking at this as opportunity, and we understand that it's going to come back. So it's just like, how much can you stack during this time, because it will pay off tenfold next run for sure.
Right. Like, this is something I'm gonna have a talk with Richard pretty soon about this and stuff. Like one thing that we're missing is, like, we had this, like, I mean, Richard would say it, but it didn't click. Now it clicks for us, like the 10,000x thing. Like, I seriously need. I want to have a talk with Richard and say that, like, we need to like market like 100,000x.
Yeah.
Because we need to have the next zone to like what's possible, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, because, like, I mean, obviously the first time we're gonna hit $1, it's gonna just go like this, like,
yeah.
You know, shout out to my EES stakers and shit. We're about to get paid on those days, bro. Like, when we hit $1 for the first time, dude, man, that's gonna be like 24 hex, 80 hex days or some shit for each. Like, just because everyone's like, you know, pushing the button or whatever. Yeah. But I think when the first time we ever heard $1, that's gonna be like the penny moment, for us, and like that when that shit. When like this fairy dust became $1, like the dollar is so shitty that like our coin surpassed like the value of $1, like incredible.
And like earn that shit, dude. Like, you know, where Hex started to where it is today. I mean, even like, I know some people love the log chart, some people don't, but like, log chart in my mind is the best way to look at the chart. And when you just look at, like, you look back on like the history of Hex, and like, you can, I don't know. I just remember a lot of those cycles, but you know, it is up and to the right, and we're still way up from where we were. And
definitely.
It's just like, you know, if you really, I do feel for the people that did buy into that pump, you know, and they've been down ever since. But you know, the smart ones are kind of just accepting that as a sunk cost for now, and they're looking at like, okay, what can I do today to set myself up for the future? And those are the people that's going to win. You know, don't sell bottoms, man. Buy, right? Like, you got to prepare.
Definitely. I mean, it's so true. I mean, can you imagine when we hit a point where, like, think about this, like, once we're in the dollars range, right? Like, think about what your stack's worth today.
Yeah.
Imagine like, my penis can only get so erect. Fucking Bob. But like, all right, think about this. Think about when we're at $2. I think $2, the math really equals up. So obviously, we know that crypto goes up and down. Like, what, like, you know, crypto goes up, like coins go up 5, 6, 15% in a day over here, volatility wise, right? And in equities, 0.5% to 1%, right? That's kind of the volatility difference. It might be more, right? But but in that sort of range. So when we're at $2, look at the staker app, or look at whatever you have where you can look at the total value of all your staked Hex. Imagine that we just have a boring day and Hex goes up 1%. So the price went from $2 to $2.02. So you would just increase your fucking stack by 50%. Like, or let's take it even farther. Let's just say Hex is $4 and we have a 1% move. Literally, you double the amount of, like, let's just say you have $1 million of Hex as an example, right? And at 3.7 cents, and literally the price is $4.04. That 1% move up in the price literally will just you made like $1.5 million.
It gets so crazy, dude. It's so crazy.
It's so insane. Like, those big numbers are so crazy. Like right now we're at 3.7 fucking cents. Like, do you know how much of an asymmetrical, like, what's the worst case on Hex going down? Like, fuck, like, I mean, Richard told me the bottom's in, so it's like, what is that? Like, so we won't go below like 2.6 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Or like it's like, it's a penny away. Like, so worst case, like, you know, knock on the table,
Yeah.
you know, my dick, whatever's the hardest wood around here. But like, what, you know, like, on all this sort of stuff, like, if you look at it, right, like, the worst case is like you go down about 40% on it. So if you put a dollar in, right, you throw, you throw something like, you put $100 bill, like you put $100 bill right there, boom, into Hex. Worst case, $60, right? But over time, if it can go back to all-time highs, I mean, we're talking about a crazy amount of like returns. I mean, we're talking, let's see, 56 divided by, what are we at right now? 3.7. That's a 15 times on your money. So it's like you turn $100 into like, you turn this $100 into like
1,500. That's crazy.
15.
Bro, you just got hundreds laying around. I love it, man.
Oh, dude, I was gambling, bro. I was killing it in Vegas. I was killing it, dude. I have been on a fucking winning streak, bro. I've been spending cash like crazy, but I just been winning, bro. Like, that's a Kareem knows. I set like Kareem's ass. Like, I took his to his fucking hotel room, and he's just like, hey Miguel, can you, like, I'm gonna shower up real quick. He's like, wait down here. So I was like, I put $100 on the craps table. Every craps table I've been on, I just been winning $800, $1,200,
Damn.
$400, just taken from like the. Just taken from the casinos and shit.
That's sick,
Hex.com, baby. Hex.com. But yeah.
Yeah, stake, don't gamble, guys. Stake, don't gamble.
Seriously, so it's like look at this shit. I mean, like, let's do a little math. I mean, let's do some moon math, because I mean, I'm here with the Hex, the Maximus Dow god right here, because he's a right. So this $800 that I stole from the casino, that I took from them, that I took their fucking lunch money, right, is, let's just say at that point, like we're talking about, that's what, 21,000 Hex, right, give or take. Yeah, 21,000 Hex. That 21,000 Hex, right? At 50 cents, we're talking about, I just turned $800 into, I just turned 21 into like $11,000.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like that's a kind of like level. We're talking about 15x on the capital, which is insane. You know, like if we, that's just going to all-time highs. That's not even talking about like possibly going to 5. I mean, this is some crazy numbers right here, but like, hey, we're moon mathing here, so hey, have fun with this crack cocaine right here. But like, so we're 21. So the $800 that I just took from the casinos, that I just punched in their face and shit, took their money, pushed the shit in. This $800 I took from the casino, I buy $21,104 of Hex, right? And let's just say Hex was $3. We're talking about like this $800 just turned to $63,312. That's so what crazy, man. That's what it's staking or yield. Or I might just take this 21K and just put it in Lucky, or I put it in like the the base pool, or I put it in whatever go key ends up shilling me that I just blindly put money into.
Bro, it's crazy. All right, I got a moon math calculator for you for Maxi. Go to maximus.cash is the DApp website for Maxi.
Okay. Maximus.cash?
Yep.
Okay. Let's give me 1 second.
And then let me pull it up too, so I can see where I'm going. And then on the left, you'll see dashboard.
Yep, I see it.
All right, and then scroll down to the Maximus stake calculator.
I see it.
So with this, you can calculate how much one maxi. I mean, you can calculate a lot of stuff, but you can see estimated redeemable amount per maxi.
Yeah.
So this calculator allows you to input what you think the average daily payout per t-shirt will be, the future Hex price, and then Maxi is also backed by Hedron from that stake.
Right.
So you can plug in the Hedron price as well, and it'll output what the Maxi will be worth.
Right. So I'll say because I think over time the staking is going. I think we're kind of earning a lot right now. So I think legitimately probably need something like 5. Honestly, on the t-shirt payout, the Hex price. Let's crank this bitch up. Let's just say, and this is at the end of the 555, the end of the year. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh wow, we might be like. Let's call $18 chilling. $18. Who knows?
What do you think Hedron will be?
I don't know. I mean, this is full guesstimation. I mean, it could easily be like 3 cents, something like that, possibly. Yeah, maybe more. It could even be. It's $18 and stuff, and then because like it's the whole ratio is supposed to be like 1 B share equals that, but the thing is, it's the same thing with how Litecoin, 4 Litecoins equals 1 Bitcoin. Like, yeah, okay, sure, maybe at the peak if you hit that, but that's not gonna it won't hold it for that long. So it's like the ratio might be like 5,000 to 1 or something like that. So if I just divide 18 by like 5,000 or whatever, or 5,000 divided by 18.
Let me do it. 5,000.
Yeah, it's like by $18. Yeah, like the price or whatever. That'd probably be more fair of like where we're gonna be at in terms of like the Hedron price. But like,
5,000 divided by 18 is 277. Is that?
That's probably wrong. Like, well, we need to make it into a kind of a coin, into a thing.
Or should it be 18 divided by 5,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I feel like if it hit a penny, I mean, if it hit a penny in 15 years, I feel like that's huge. But it's 0.0036. There we go. I think that's realistic too. Much more realistic than a penny, honestly. Penny's crazy. Right. So you're looking at one maxi equaling $106.38 each, and it's 8 cents right now.
Damn, I had to drop it on it. Like, my brain was literally like,
bro. I was like, what did that? That was crazy. Bro, I like it.
I want to play, but I think we can get in trouble. But like,
it's a whole lot.
That's all I can play. That's all I can play that one. But like,
yeah, you can't copyright it.
Yeah.
Bro, I got a stream taken down the other night. It was like an 8-hour stream, bro. It was like when we announced the launch date, I stayed on stream and just like kept working on stream. And then towards the end of it, I started just playing music like an idiot, and stream got yoinked. So that was a bummer, but
damn,
learned my lesson.
Did you get a strike or no?
I don't know if I got a strike, but I think it was a warning. But
was it just a demonetization or the whole stream got pulled?
Whole stream got pulled. I was like, because in the past, like they've been able to like crop out the music, right? I don't know why they couldn't just do that, but it was a bummer.
Well, hey man, it's just is what it is.
Yeah, you just learn, you live, you learn.
You live and you learn and stuff like that. But like this is some cool little moon math. Like, I mean, like, Jesus Christ. I mean, like we're probably gonna be. I mean, we're gonna be owning multiple Citadels. And shout out to the Citadel group, you guys. But like, I'm making my Citadel. Me and Charlie are making the Citadel, and all you guys are welcome to join. But get all the freshest, dopest alpha in there. But
I love it.
Discount on the courses and stuff. But like seriously, like I know this sounds far fetched, but like you got to think about it. Like when we got into Hex, it was like even now, like if you had told me damn near 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, 2.8 years ago, like Miguel, you know, like Hex is going to be at 4 cents, and like people are going to be mad. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're literally telling me like we're 50% of the old all-time high of Doge and shit, and you're like, and we'll be crying. Like it's like, bro, it's like how many zeros, bro? Like
it's crazy. I mean, if you think about like if you remove the pump we had and you just like remove that and where we are today, like it's still a crazy chart, right? Like we got very spoiled with that insane run, but we're still way up from where it started. And I fully believe, along with a lot of people, that we're gonna match that, if not exceed that, in the future with just how this community is expanding and what's going on. So it's crazy.
So we got some crazy moon math. So I mean, this stream was like literally like we're saying like $106, not now, in maybe 15 years or whatever the hell. but like in 15 years, like a Max, or let's just say 14 years. 14 years, a Maxi could be worth like $106. Hex could at least be chilling at $18. I was mad, kicking rocks, just mad, looking poor, angry. We're talking about like almost like a 3 cent, like 33, basically 36% of a penny. Hedron price, like, jeez Christ, and then that's not even talking about this is, and we're probably around like what, on the 14th iteration of the base pool. We're on something like probably the 5th iteration of the trio pool. We're on the damn near second iteration of the lucky pool, and the maxi tokens coming out. Like, clip this shit.
It's crazy, bro. And
me and Cole, still have hair, like crazy.
Let's pray on that, dude. I hope so.
Yeah,
you never know, man.
I'm using all my Native American powers to keep. I'm half Native American, I found out, and shit. So like,
that's sick.
So I'm gonna keep this hair. Hopefully, it thins for everybody, no matter what. Even as you get older, your hair still shit. Even for men and women or whatever. But yeah.
I mean, and like something that's got me very I mean, like, I definitely look at the staker count number, but the maxi chart. So when you switch it to the price and Hex, and you see that premium, that's like, so when you look at like Grayscale, for example, that's like the market kind of pricing in the future of Bitcoin. And with Maxi, it's kind of in that same, it's probably obviously not at the scale for that market, but in a way it is for Hex, is like a niche market. So when you like that premium being held up is like really showing people's faith in that long-term vision of Hex yield. And people are buying into it, so that's got me super bullish as well. Just the maxi chart so far has been incredible. It's kind of, no one expected. I didn't expect it to hold that premium or get to that premium for like 6 months. And right when that stake started, I mean, it jumped to like a 50% premium, and then it went to, now it's like over 14%. It's crazy.
I really believe it's because that was off the bat. I mean, obviously it was like, because obviously you're going to have some premium, right? But like, I really believe it's because of how well Hedron did in the meantime as well. And then you guys caught the 10x, claim bonus or whatever on the Hedron and stuff as well. So like,
we caught the 5.
You caught the 5? Oh, I think you caught the 10. Okay, we caught the 5.
We caught the 5, which is still a lot. Compared to like, now that launch is gone, like, it's crazy to see the amount of Hedron you would earn versus like if you had grabbed that like 10x. Because I grabbed the 10x on all my stakes, and were you able to do that on your stakes as well?
I'm sorry,
to claim the 10x bonus. Did you get that done on your? Yeah, so we're chilling, dude. I mean, that's the thing about Hedron. Like, I mean, if you were in Hex early, and then if you were in Hedron early and you knew about the launch bonus, like you lock in that 10x and you were able to claim or mint that 10x for, the whole stake. So it's like another money printer. So very grateful to Alex for building that.
Oh, great tokenomics and stuff, and he really did solve that problem. I think I originally had said like that the secondary market could have troubles unless you have some sort of incentive to get people to kickstart the HSI like auctions and stuff, because if you don't have anything there, like you basically could have this point where like you have a glut of Hedron basically. So that's really cool. He fixed that. So
absolutely. And it was cool that like, so he launched that, and then I remember like distinctly him hopping in because we announced what we were launching, and he was like, you guys should claim your Hedron when you launch this thing. And so we were able to actually integrate Hedron, like the claiming of Hedron, into our stakes. So it was like a crazy kind of just like in the moment partnership that formed. And it's like, now Maxi is not only backed by Hex, but also Hedron as well. So it's just another multiplier. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, you guys are like the two best projects in Hex right now, basically, And I really think that you like both Hedron and Maxi and well, I should say Maximus is like as the whole thing and stuff. Are like the two key projects that are like, I think Richard. I know Richard fucks with like Hedron. He thinks, oh, it's cool now, right? I haven't heard him say that about Maximus yet. At least I haven't. I'll probably ask him at some point. So I'll dig for you.
No, he's mentioned it. I think he's mentioned like a total of 3 times now, kind of in tandem, like with Hedron. This last one was at PulseCon. He he mentioned like vertical integration of like the ecosystem, and he mentioned the derivatives, which and then he mentioned Hedron, Icosa, and Maxi. So yeah, I think I've always told our community like Richard Hart's made it very clear on his stance on other things. Why would he promote someone else's ticker? So I don't expect him to like be promoting what we're doing, because he's obviously got his hands full with everything he's doing. So I'm just grateful. I mean, he built such a great product that we're able to build on top of and kind of amplify. And then also he's like, I'm very grateful he's launching Pulse Chain, because he's basically making our products multi-chain for free. And our community's getting a double. So it's like, man, awesome. I'm extremely grateful. So
heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. And so I wanted to do a little sort of announcement and stuff. So I kind of said this on the last stream. It's like, dude, the universe is amazing, dude. Like, it really is, man. Like, I felt like we manifested this into existence, but like I maybe it was like 2 streams ago or so where I basically kind of found a niche for us to like expand, not just Hex, but the whole Pulse Chain community. Well, basically the whole the whole Richard Hart Maxi community, the whole Richard Hart community, cinematic universe and stuff. But so I mean, pretty much I pinpointed, right? So I was like, okay, what's our biggest strengths? We are the biggest strength that we have is we're the in terms of like per capita, in terms of the coins, right? We're the highest YouTuber per capita of any coin.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah,
it's not even close. Like, second's not even like there's more. We have more dedicated YouTubers for Hex, and then eventually I'll count Hex and Pulse Chain YouTubers together. Then Bitcoin, Ethereum. I mean, I can't think of a single coin that has more YouTubers. Not one. One coin. It's
like like dedicated, and not only just like a lot of people, but like putting out quality content that actually is like on another level. Like I was in a Twitter space the other day with like Cardano people or something, and they had no idea what a trustless smart contract was. And here, like, our entire community knows about trustless DeFi, and so we're just on this other level. And I think there's a lot of like crypto influencers out there, but there's like nowhere near like the dedicated to one community that we have. It's insane.
Right. Yeah. It's because like you have like even though I am coin agnostic, which basically means like I like Hex isn't the only coin I mess around with, right? I spin plates and stuff. But if what's my main squeeze?
Yeah.
It's Hex and stuff, and it's always going to be that way, right? But with these people, they're more of like doing the coin agnostic sort of thing, where like it's just because everything they choose kind of dies all the time.
Yeah.
And nothing survives, so they just like out, in, out, like that. And that's pretty much their market strategy. So for I basically broke this down, and I told this to Kareem, and I told this to Gary, I told this to Richard, and in some forums as well and stuff. And I told this to quite a lot of other people in private and stuff. And I had a lot of conversations during PulseCon about this as well. And I think me and you talked about it a little bit as well. But that I just did this whole market like analysis of like, okay, in terms of social media, like where can we improve? Where's the most ROI money wise, right? For us to to shoot, right? So it's like, okay, YouTube, we're more like, and I'm very happy that me and all the original guys from Hex and stuff that were YouTubing, that we kind of built this community thing of like getting everybody to stream and to create something. One thing that we were kind of doing, which was kind of by accident, is that we were trying to get people to YouTube, but then we would like tell people like, hey, like we're on Twitter. So in a weird way, we weren't planning to do this on purpose, but we ended up creating a gigantic Twitter community for the Hex. Hexican Twitter is powerful. And then anytime there's something seriously going on in the Hex community, Richard, we can make anyone trending on Twitter now. We're that powerful. So we're a really powerful community in crypto. So in terms of like, so this is where it gets a little different, where like people like like, hey, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. Like the minimum effort is like, oh, I'm a Twitter person. Like that's a minimum.
Yeah.
Like being a dedicated YouTuber shows max effort. Like, cause it's like, wow, you're seriously spending hours in front of a screen YouTubing about something. Okay, got it. Then from there, we have crypto Twitter, which we become very powerful in crypto Twitter. We may not be the biggest community in terms of numbers, but in terms of dedicated people that are like diehard Hexicans, chain guys and everything like that, we're pretty powerful. So that's an avenue that we're still going to always keep growing no matter what. So if Hex triples in price, we're going to gain a shit ton of people on Twitter. So I'm not worried about that. We have that kind of sewn in already. Okay, cool. Yep. Then from there, I looked at like, what's the second avenue that we could with Snapchat? No one used that shit. Yeah. Like TikTok, cool. TikTok seems really powerful, but there's problems with it because TikTok gets a little weird sometimes with crypto content. Like, I mean, I personally had 8 accounts banned. Wow. Like just taken off like that for no reason. So I'm like, holy crap. As well as demographic wise, even though it's important to try to get the younger generation into TikTok, they really don't have money to buy. Yeah, very true. So I started doing this whole market analysis, and then I had started my Instagram just because I was like, well, I can't make a fucking TikTok. Let me try an Instagram, and then I just got all this traction. I'm like, holy crap! And then so I always spend my entire life away from like Facebook. I mean, we all had a Facebook, but like, I got the fuck off of Facebook. I got the fuck off of Instagram. I mean, I just like, I'm concentrating as an entrepreneur on my business, which was like a local business in the local area, and I'm just gonna focus on that. So I kind of shunned social media away, and then. But because I'm so far away from the forest, I can still see the trees, where some people are so close to the forest they can't see the trees, right? Yeah. So I can see the trees. So once I got on Instagram, I'm just looking at this like, wow, this is really cool. And then I started seeing like there's crypto people on there, but they're not that prominent. But we have so many numbers of people, and the people that we have in the Hex community is so powerful that what I've been trying to do is like, holy crap, we need to push. So I started doing a bunch of crypto content on Instagram. I'm not being taken down. It's not being throttled. Yeah. Whoa. And the thing is like I found out how fucking vain people are. Yeah. Truly. Like, absolutely. Like Instagram is the most vain place of all time. It's like literally like you want to hate your life, go on Instagram, kind of in a way. Absolutely. It's dude, fake, absolutely. Fake, it's fakery completely. Yeah. Even more than Twitter or even because on YouTube, like you can you have to show yourself. But on Instagram, you take a nice picture next to a car and people think it's your car or whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah. But this is so the reason I did the whole Instagram thing is because like I was like, how can I get interviews for Richard, or how can we do stuff for that? So like the main thing was like I was looking at like Richard Hart in terms of like him being the barometer to like how powerful we are in different sectors. So I see on YouTube, okay, we can be better there, right? Cool, but still pretty decent. Oh, and obviously we have his channel taken down sometimes, and there's some shadow banning. I was like, fuck. But like then on crypto. On crypto with Twitter, I was like, oh wow, he has 250,000 plus. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Then I look on Instagram, which is like his forte, which is like being flashy or being flashy. 51K. Yeah. Well, he's I mean, he's like, he's blue check mark now, which is great. But I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. We should at least be 250,000. So what's going on is that we have a lot of Hexagons that aren't on Instagram. So I've been trying to get the whole thing of getting everyone on Instagram, because if we push Richard and stuff, and then we all get bigger Instagram followings, then we can start pulling interviews with people that we don't have. Because like off of Twitter, when we pretty much have milked Twitter pretty dry for the most part, Twitter's so powerful. That's how you get the word out. And when things are going great, that's awesome. And YouTube's amazing, right? But we need another avenue where we're like, where's the freshly squeezed lemon that we can make lemonade out of? Yeah. The fastest one where we have the most amount of people who have money, who can at least have $1,000 to put into Hex or any of these cryptos is Instagram. So I just having this big push, even though we don't like this point, we don't like it. Like some guys want to keep it private. You can just have emoji or whatever, a fucking meme picture, say yourself. I mean, I literally have like, I don't know, like I think I have a picture of Napoleon Bonaparte with my face on it. Like, I love it. Yeah, I have Napoleon Bonaparte and then a moon on top of my head, like a moon boy or shit, right? So like,
dude, that's so recognizable though. Like I know it's you every time I see that.
Yeah. And so it's like there's this huge space right here that like, so this is where all the normies are at.
Yeah.
And if you like girls and shit, like, yo, Instagram is the biggest dating app in the world. And then so like, this is mixing in red pill knowledge, talking to Fresh and Myron about stuff, and like, and all this sort of crap. Like, bro, like, if your Instagram is popping, you like half the time, like, all right, so like you're in the nightclub or some shit, you're in the club or something, like, hey, what's going on, boom, like, hey, let me get your Instagram, da 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 da, and they look at your Instagram and you're like, and they're like, they literally are choosing between guys sometimes. Like, obviously, if you're just like super Chad and you like, no matter what, you know, you sweep somebody off their feet, doesn't matter. But a lot of times, even your super Chad, they still kind of look at your socials, right? And I've always noticed, like, what do they always ask you? What's your fucking Instagram? They don't ask you, like, what's your fuck book? What's your Facebook? What's your Twitter? Like, yo, Goldkey, bro. What's your YouTube? Like, very rarely, like, unless you like bring it up, it's like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. Oh, what's your YouTube? They'll ask you, but if you never tell them like you're a YouTuber, 0 times they ask like they ask you what's your it's not it's like, hey Goldkey, what's your TikTok? No, what do they ask? What's your Insta?
Definitely.
So me knowing that, right? Because everyone follows because guys like sheep, we follow like where the girls are at, right? So the girls are all on Instagram, like guys are like Instagram, Instagram, right? Just like the club come up, like the way clubs make all their money from like they bring a bunch of girls into the club, then the guys are like, I want to go there, and they start buying drinks and bottles because I want chicks. So it's like, chicks don't pay for nothing, they just get in for free, they get fucking shit faced for free, and the guys are the ones fucking like paying for all the shit.
With the table bill of like 5K.
5K. So Instagram is exactly, Karn's right. Instagram's a new phone number of 2022, but no, it's more of, it's your LinkedIn social approval. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, you could be like, you know, car salesman or whatever, but like if people see like, holy fuck, you got 12K followers or something, like literally, like if you, this is, I've seen this in person, right? Like you're talking to a girl, right? And this isn't for anything, a client or anything, right? Let's just say I'm talking to a client. It doesn't matter. Just think girl as like the person you're trying to like shill or get, right? Yeah. Like you talk to a girl, right? And she's got 3,000 followers on Instagram. If you literally have 4,000 or the same amount as her, in her brain, she's like, oh, this guy's equal value to me. And it may not be like wower, but it's like you didn't get disqualified. Or at the very least, you're like, you know what, he has the same followers as me. Okay, let me go with it. That's how fucking crazy it is, because it's like, and then from there, if you like, you let's just say you're talking to some client or some guy like that has a lot of money that's trying to get into Hex and stuff, and he's got like 5,000 followers, and then you pull up and you got like 25K. Yo, what's going on? This is my shop. Like, oh shit, he'll take you more seriously. Yeah,
for sure.
It's absolutely. And I wish it wasn't like that. I wish it was based off the character of your like of what you've done in your life and stuff. But like, and I've always like stayed away from this Instagram bullshit forever. Yeah. But it's like, fuck, you can't get away from it. Like people, like, no, you can't. It's like waking up and like, it's like going to like, this is a classic Boondocks fucking quote. It's like going to heaven and finding Jesus smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it like, there's no way to get around for it. So it's like, basically like you, like, I'd say like, let's jump into the fray, like get all of Hex Twitter and YouTube. Absolutely. On Instagram, make us more popular. And what, you know, what's going to happen is that from there we're liking and not retweeting. I'm still learning Instagram, but like liking and like doing all the stuff. Yeah, that we're going to be able to pull fucking interviews we'd never be able to get. Absolutely, it's a great idea because I feel like, I mean, I follow a lot of marketers, like digital marketers, and everyone's talking about TikTok right now, right? Like, I definitely think there is that discoverability. Like, they have a great algorithm to like be discovered, but you're right, like crypto stuff always gets yoinked. Everyone I know, it always gets deleted, like, you know, 8 times, multiple times. And you're right, like the flashiness, I mean, especially for Richard Hart himself, like the flashiness and the cars and how he's outreach marketing is so prime for that. That's a huge opportunity. I think for me, like the Instagram I have is like more of a personal one, so I would probably don't use that. Like create a crypto. Yeah. So you've inspired me. I'm going to create one and make it like completely crypto focused. And even for the people, I think a lot of people with Instagram, they like Twitter because you can be anonymous a lot more and like put out content. There was kind of a start of a movement there where like people were like kind of looking at Andrew Tate and seeing what he was doing and how people were like clipping him and sharing him. I think like getting our community to do that as well, especially on Reels, could really, create some traffic. What you think I'm doing here, son?
Bro, no, I know you're crushing it. I'm speaking out to like the people that that don't know, but like that's an easy way for the people that might not want to like be a face to still get active. And I like this idea a lot, man. This is great.
Yeah, and so I'm just trying to think, because I'm trying to maximize. It's like because we only have so many hours a day. Like literally, I had a conversation with Richard yesterday actually. Yesterday, me and Cream were talking to Richard and stuff, and he was like
You just called up Richard. Hey, what's
up? What's up, my guy? Like, what's going on?
That's crazy. You got the line.
Yeah, well, we're talking to Richard, right? And so just to say the Steve thing, I guess China hates crypto since they can't control. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why like TikTok's kind of like at disadvantage for us.
Oh, that's right.
Now, once we conquer Instagram, then from there, okay, what's the next like branch up, or like what's like the lowest? This is the highest ROI for the least amount of effort, right? Now I mean, we've already we kind of entered the space already, kind of like high effort, which is YouTube's hard. It is like even right now, like YouTube's hard. We're in a bear market and stuff like that, but like. Over these past 3 years, we've built a big community on YouTube. Yeah. Now we got a big community on on Twitter, which is not easy as well. Now it's like we have to take people from like, okay, because you're right, the anonymity, but there's ways to like share stuff, or at least be like a follower, so we can help propel the community forward, right? And like it's like just liking reels and like commenting on people's stuff and everything like that helps push it on the algorithm. And like because I analytics wise, right? Like if I do one of these reels right here, right, it's being shown to 14% of my non-followers, and then of those non-followers. I literally get like 1% of the views actually following. That's how crazy this stuff is right now. And like at some point, like this is not going to be open forever. Like they're gonna fucking cuck it, at some point.
Absolutely.
So it's like we're in this sort of thing, like get everyone starting Instagram and like push this shit out, and then on top of that anyway, like some people have to kind of learn to this is myself, and like put themselves out there, because it's like you have to put your best foot forward. And you like in the beginning, like even me, like I mean I'm only like maybe 2 months into Instagram and shit, and then like this shit's fucking weird. Like it's weird for me to do this shit. Like I feel super weird about it. Like I'm more comfortable on YouTube and shit, and like talking to you and doing all this stuff. Yeah. But on Instagram, it feels like it's like it's fakery. Like it really is.
Totally.
Yeah.
But dude, you're crushing. I mean, like one of the hardest things, seriously, is to like get in front of a camera and just talk to it. And you've like mastered it. Obviously. I mean, that's crazy. 2 months, you're already at 12.6. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Guys,
I mean,
go follow.
Shout out to my boy MK and stuff. I'm hanging around with some guys that have like millions of subs or a million followers, and then they're reposting me and stuff. So they're like boosting me, like it's helping a lot and stuff. But that's because like we're doing some kind of crazy shit, Yeah.
Bro, keep on the hustle, man. It's working.
Oh,
you're on another level, man. Like most people are like here, and you're taking to another level. I love it.
But I'm trying to figure out like I'm looking at this, like I'm researching like this stuff just like I do my cryptos and stuff. So I've been focused. So it's like, okay, so where can I bring the most value to Hex and the whole ecosystem? Okay, let me try to be as famous. I mean, be as famous as possible. Then we can network people in, and then we can show people like the crypto light. And even if they don't like Hex, they go into something else. Like, tell me how their life is not better being in crypto for fucking 5 years. How is it not like even if they get like wrecked on some coin or some shit, they stick around in the crypto space. 5 years from now, they at least have financial freedom. I mean, if not even financial freedom, they'll have the freedom of money.
Yeah.
Forever.
Absolutely.
Like I'll be able to send money to anywhere in the world and stuff. I keep my money safe. I have self custody. Like, tell me how like just economically they're not better off.
And knowledge. Like, think about. I mean, if you're watching this stream right now, you're on this level of knowledge and growth that not many people do. Like, think about everything that's going on in crypto that you're aware of that 99% of the world does not know. That's going to pay off, as this becomes more mainstream. Like, you will be the leader that people look to because you have actual experience being through this craziness of crypto in 2022. But I mean, look at like the people that were in like 2016 or like, even further back. It's just like there is a lot to say for having like been in the market and learning through experience that you just can't like, you have to go through it. And if you're here now, like you're going through it, and it's gonna really pay off.
No, definitely. And it's sort of like the same sort of thing. Like there's a lot of people when we were originally talking about like this was a community push. Let's get on YouTube and like not everyone wants to be on YouTube, and that's perfectly. That's why people went to the whole like forgive me, like people went all over to the whole like what do you call that stuff? The whole Twitter side because it was more anonymous, right? You can go TikTok and just repost stuff and everything like that. That's totally okay. But it's just more of just joining Instagram to be a supporter to help push because it's because like we're all financially incentivized to like want to like get the thing bigger. Like shit, more people in Hex equals we're all doing better. Like I mean, like you know that's what it is. As well as like this is how we push to get Richard into these crazier interviews and stuff like that. I'm literally working on an Andrew Tate interview with Richard right now. I'm trying I'm trying to make that happen right now. I wish the cancellation shit didn't happen, but like that kind of put a huge wrench in the whole thing a little bit. But regardless or not, like these interviews can't happen if we don't like try to like push Richard and like push like this whole thing. And on top of that, yourself and stuff. You like when you're on there, you might end up. It's the same sort of thing. Like you blow up a little bit, or like let's say you have like somebody recently said this, right? Like, okay, I agree with this and don't agree with this. Like, there's a difference between gaining mindless followers versus true supporters, which is true, right? Yeah. But at some point, like, only a certain amount of your followers are going to be the true fucking Spartans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, like we all are Spartans and we all love Hex and stuff, but there's some people that are like in Hex just to like dump it, and some people are like, oh, the friends we made along the way, like whatever spectrum people are on that, right? But the thing is like you have to gain a certain amount of mindless followers to then save the few who really want to say, like, how are you going to reach somebody to like literally one of the best fans or one of the best friends or maybe like the woman of your dreams? How the fuck are you going to meet that person if not enough people? It's like it's a numbers game.
Yeah,
true number. Absolutely. Like how are you gonna get a true follower? How are you gonna get a true follower if you can't like you literally have to? It's like it's that whole thing like in the red pill space, right? Spinning plates. How the fuck are you gonna know you have Miss Right if you haven't dated about 10 Mrs. Wrongs? You know what I mean? Like you have to like be like how would you have to like date a bunch of people to figure out like yo, this one was the one, or like this is like. It's the same thing with everything else. It's like you have 10,000, like you managed to get 10,000 followers, right? And then you may find like a superhero in that 10,000. That's what it is. Or like 10,000 are awesome. We have to like this is doing like literally. I have not heard what I got a PhD, and that don't sound for pretty huge dick. Well, it does, but like I got a PhD.
You have a PhD?
Yeah, well, I got a PhD. No, but a PhD in like YouTube research and I go on all I'm everywhere. Like some people are just highly frustrated. I go on all types of other communities. I'm always paying attention. I don't hear this sort of talk anywhere else happening at all. Like they're for a hermit mode. Like, no, this is the time to build and be quiet. No, it's time to build and fucking do shit, not be a fucking scared little pussy bitch. Like what the fuck are we doing? Like now is the time to sit down. This is when the true projects are made, when we buckle down and we grind in obscurity and silence. And then once we build it, they'll come. Sure. How about we shill it as well and not be pussies? Fucking like in a turtle, like you shrivel up in the turtle fucking shell. Like what the fuck? What? Like you hear these motherfuckers like beta. It's like no testosterone, soy boy, fucking latte drinking ass like. I almost said the F word. But
man, it's so true. You just have to like realize the game that's being played right now, and like you do, there is a reason why like Richard Hart is being outrageous, is because like it's so much better to be outrageous and to get attention and than to be lost in obscurity. Truly, like. You have no power today if no one knows you and no one hears what you're saying. And sometimes you have to do a little bit of outrageous stuff to do that. Right. And, if you were a billionaire, what would you do as far as outrageous? I think everyone would be different, but Richard Hart's chosen the flashy flex, man. And, the only thing with Richard Hart's, persona or like what he's created is it's people like to like when they get to know someone, they like, oh, you're this person. And Richard Hart is playing the like billionaire crypto founder while also trying to be the self-help guru. And I think that like I think it's hard for people to like respect both, and not because people like to just be like, oh, you're this or this. I think there's a lot of power in that, but I also think it's a little hard as far as like, I don't know, just keeping that all going at the same time. But at the same time, like his outreach marketing is working, right? Like his followers are going up, his engagement's going up. And the thing about social and just the internet in general, back to the point about like true followers, there's a lot that like for people to like believe you and follow you on the internet. There is a lot to be said for vanity metrics like engagement, followers, views. That those things do matter, and that is where getting creative with how, what, at least how you get there, and then once you're there, you can have more freedom to like do what you want. But to get attention on the internet, everyone's trying to do it right now, so you have to like get creative and be unique and be interesting. And it's not always easy, but
and I know it's not everyone's forte either and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, it's like you have to like. You're right. It's like, there's a lot of vanity metrics. Like right now, like you're an awesome dude. You really are. Like I've met you in person.
Man.
I think you're a cool dude, good looking guy, tall and stuff, masculine. Like here's my number. Like but you're a cool dude and stuff. You're doing cool things in this world, right? It's kind of, I was like, why the fuck? Like you keep like, now let's just say you reached out to somebody, right? More than likely, because of let's just say they had a million followers, right? But if they ever met you in real life and they talk to you, you'd be like, bro, Gold Keys, fucking dude, you're awesome. But they would never give you the fucking time of day, ever. And this happens. Same thing with even with let me tell you, it's just talk about Andrew Tate for a second, right? Like Andrew Tate, right? Like I've been watching Andrew Tate for a long time. He's been I'm in the same community, the red pill community. I'm in the whole manosphere stuff, and he has been saying the same shit the entire fucking time, and what he says actually goes against what a lot of bigger YouTube channels are going on. But because he's so fucking popular and big, and this is not a detriment to him, I think I like his content. I really like him as a person. But some of I know we're all smart enough to know what he's joking around and what he's being serious, right? But he's so big right now. There's people that would have called him a cocksucking motherfucker years ago, but because he's so gigantic, they're like, Tate, hi, man, what's going? And shut, you don't want to be like when he's talking about that's haram. That's haram. Like, is he Christian or is he Muslim, right? So imagine like he's like, so it's like we had this whole thing, right? Like, shout out to Rollo Tomasi and stuff. He had an interview with Ruslan and stuff, and I got to meet Ruslan. It's like this. He's like a really Christian YouTuber guy, right? And I think my boy Rollo mopped the floor with him. But it's just, I mean, for real, but respectfully, I am also Catholic and stuff, and I believe in God and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
But he's a big Christian YouTuber guy, and literally, Andrew Tates have said things that it's not very Christian.
Yeah.
Right. But because he's so popular and he says little religious things here and there, everybody wants to fucking tie their boat to the Andrew Tate train because legitimately, you'd be like, look, see, Andrew Tate's fucks with God, and so it means I'm also cool too, That's literally what, and me and Rollo have talked, Rollo Tomasi have talked about this a little bit, and we're just like, damn. That's kind of that's how, this is how people will break their morals and everything just if you're out here popping. You could be a child murderer and stuff, and a child murderer, and then be like the adoption agencies are like, oh, he's one of the best out here, and so
for real.
That's how I think.
Crazy,
about it.
Man. Yeah.
It's insane. It's like you're like the head of anti women stuff, and then all the women people are swooning over you. I think all women should go to jail, right? And then and then the anti jail advocates are like, he's awesome. What?
It's crazy, man. I think he has masterfully taken over the internet by storm and just played everything so perfectly. It's a lot. He reminds me a lot of Jordan Peterson, who had a very controversial upstart, with saying something against a trans activist or something, and then that just sparked his world fame. So there's this element that I think Andrew Tate also taps into, that he's saying, just with the culture and everything that's going on today, he's saying something that you wish you could say or something, right? Like the world isn't allowing you to say that, but this guy will, and he's world famous. And so it's that combined with, I think that kind of drives a lot of the fame, and it's also just outlandish and like it sparks like controversy. But now he's at that level where it's like, I mean, they took down, I feel like their takedown of his socials and everything like made him even more famous in a way. But it is unfortunate that he lost those channels of like
of communication.
Yeah.
And eventually, and like just this, I mean, I fully support. I mean, I've watched Andrew Tate since like I think like 2015, basically. Like that's how he's been doing stuff and stuff like Tate confidentials and stuff like that. I think I don't like, what was it like? Then the videos would get like 4,000 views back in the day. Like seriously, that's how early I've been on. Like because I'm in the red pill.
Crazy.
Right? Yeah, like I've known about Andrew fucking forever, bro. It's fucking hilarious. One of the favorite. So I'm thinking about maybe once a week doing like reviewing videos on my YouTube channel. Is like just like even not crypto related YouTube videos. Just there's a really funny one where they're trolling their cousin. He's like he sleeps on the fucking floor, and then he comes in the room and pulls. There's like a secret bed hidden up there. She's like, "Your dumbass slept on the floor." Hilarious. Like it just
that's so funny, man.
It's fucking funny. And
what was like his moment where it just like took off? Like was there like an interview or something? I mean, I know he's been putting in a lot of time, but was there like a trigger interview or something that just like took off?
So obviously there's a bunch of them really, but I would say the one, like I don't want to give full credit to this one, but I think it's the most hilarious one ever. I think the one that really exposed him to the mainstream like podcasting Joe Rogan sort of circles was basically he did an interview with Your Mom's House, which was Tom Segura and Segura and his wife and stuff. And it's one of I would say this is peak.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
He's like, how can a dumb bitch like me keep my man? Bro,
they played into it so well.
It was the greatest. He's like, look at this. My husband's a top comedian, has the world's greatest comedians in the world, and my husband's spilling coffee, laughing at your shit. It's literally, that's probably the peak of like, if you ever want to see Andrew Tate in terms of being funny and everything like that. There was an interview where he interviewed some girl with like heels on and shit. I forgot her name and stuff. She's like from the UK and stuff. It was either that interview or Your Mom's House. But I'd say Your Mom's House was like really exposed them to the whole like podcast side. Not Andrew Tate, but Andrew Schultz. Joe Rogan, the King and the Sting and all that stuff, and all that whole world right there. But that was much after he kind of blew up on like TikTok. But it was really what really blew him up, if I'm being honest, was basically there's a bunch of like the people that the people following him from like Hustlers University retweeting and like making thousands. Imagine having like 30,000 people making clips about you everywhere.
That was it. Yeah, like that. He created a machine of like just driving so much traffic. Dude, I feel like Richard Hart has that same type of like edginess. Like if we just got those clips out, I don't know, man. Like Richard Hart should drop a course, like literally model exactly what Tate did with the course and like the referral. That would take off, dude. But
hey. Like I know how this whole system works and stuff like that, and I know the whole thing. And it's really cool and shit. But like, it's like you do have to be careful with that now, because it's like legitimately like, I mean that's the reason they banned it, is because he basically like did it in a way where like no one could stop it. That's why they went after him. Like, you think about the cabal, like he was literally canceled within one day, and imagine PayPal. So it was PayPal got in the room, Stripe got in the room, Apple got in a room, Google got in a room. Like, can you imagine? Like, how the fuck do all these corporations in like just for one person meet into it? Like, that is some high level like Illuminati type stuff, where you had that many high level entities all get together and just across a website taken down, all of it. Like, I wasn't sure if assets got seized, but can you imagine it? Like if he, I would imagine he probably had like millions to tens of millions of dollars on Stripe and PayPal. Who knows?
Absolutely.
They jacked that money from him. Probably.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. That's scary. This is where you need crypto and stuff. And Tate's are into crypto and stuff like that, but That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
So I fully support Tate and shit. I mean, I think he's fucking hilarious. He's a hilarious motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, he's a red pilled as fuck sort of guy and stuff like. So I give a lot of support to the guy and stuff, and I wish him the best, and I think he will pull through and stuff. But
yeah. What's he doing now? Is he how is he getting the word out, or
through Rumble? So
Rumble.
he did a deal with I'm not sure who owns the company. Maybe a Turkish owned or a Russian owned basically app basically called Rumble. Yeah. So, and basically what he did is he's like messaging pictures through like his social, whatever socials he still has left, or sort of guys that fuck with him and stuff, and they're posting pictures, and it's got like a QR code to download the Rumble app, and he's like the biggest person on there, so you can still watch him on the Rumble app and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But the thing is who knows if it'll be successful? Like people, if like he still had all the socials and he was doing I think the Rumble could have taken over, but since they took him out without the socials, it's like, but the thing is you can't ever count out Top G.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he's created like such a name that and everyone like knew. I mean, that was like world news when Andrew Tate, because it was that big. Like all those major corporations like working together to take down one person in one day is like, that is insane, man. And it's crazy.
It was almost on the line of Trump level. It was almost even with Trump, they didn't go that far.
Yeah,
like they went harder than they did on Trump.
Think how crazy
they literally the cabal of these corporations together put more effort into canceling Andrew Tate than they did the president of the United States of America.
It's so crazy.
And then how crazy? How the fuck did they get away with like even do that to President Trump? That is insane. You can't like,
dude, I don't know.
Of all the leader of the free world getting canceled.
It's insane.
How the fuck the leader of the free world, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, getting what? What are we talking about?
Man. Especially because like social media is literally the town square. Like I truly believe that, and it's like, you know, if you really believe in free speech, I mean, of course, there's some level, just like there is in the real world when you're speaking, like, you know, threatening someone or like, you know, there is some line, but like Andrew Tate is literally, I think it was just so against what the mainstream media, and personally, I think it was probably like Netflix and these bigger streaming services, honestly, because when you look at like the shows and stuff that they're putting out, like everything that Andrew Tate was talking about was like directly opposite of what they're pushing out. So, and they have a lot of money and a lot of power. So I'm sure they flexed on all these companies, but it's insane, man. Like the fact that all those companies are that connected that they could do that to one person, is kind of scary. So it's like with the rise of that power of tech giants and, you know, banks and all of that, like, and the fact that crypto and the innovation that's happening over here, it's going to be a battle. It's going to, you know, especially like what you were talking about earlier, with, you know, after the elections are over and legislation is looked at. But yeah, I mean, like I think I'm a little more skeptical than most on, I don't know the right word, but I don't want to say worried, but I just see the kind of the centralization through, you know, exchanges and how dependent this ecosystem is on stable coins. I think if the government wanted to wipe out crypto tomorrow, they could. But I truly think that they're trying to claim the power by like inserting themselves at the right points of exchange. And I think, you know, they're going to launch their own stable. And then they're going to highly continue to regulate those exchanges. And those are kind of like vital pieces of this ecosystem right now that if we don't figure out how to, you know, maybe circumvent or just like figure out how better ways to do it, I don't know. But yeah, I think people have huge dreams for crypto being kind of like the takeover, but there's a lot of work that we need to do to like figure out how to replace some of the things we use today that are centralized and are playing the game connected to the government and reporting to them. And, you know,
and that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean the best thing we can do right now is just becoming mini like broadcast stations, but at the same time too, I mean, like having so many of us that like we are like we're basically our own community and sort of our own nation in a way, the Hexican nation. And we have so much like broadcasters, YouTubers, Instagram guys, all of it that you can't. It's like you cut one head off and two more pops out. You know, hail Hydra. You know, we are Hydra.
Yeah, for real, for real, man. Like we have so much social power right now, and it's like, you know, we've seen the power not only like just socially, but like pooling resources to do things. You know, like the NASCAR thing. We've done a lot of like very big things that might have been a little before our time as far as like right like we were spending money like how a brand like Rolex like spends money to can like when you're already familiar with something, it doesn't necessarily but you know, I look at that as like huge proof points that people are willing to spend that much to promote because they believe in Hex so much and they want it to do well and they want people to know about it. And I think there's huge. You were talking about Instagram. Another area I think too is like SEO. So for the people that might not want to, like, if you like writing, I think there's huge opportunity to hop into blogging and learning how to write for SEO to drive traffic to Hex as well. I think that's. I've seen some good blogs, and there's actually, you know, new ones coming out for Pulse Chain, like How to Pulse is good. But yeah, if you like writing versus posting, like that would be huge too, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you use what you can and stuff, but there's a couple, but you also have to kind of push a little bit into the uncomfortable a little bit as well.
Sure.
But you know, I mean, doesn't mean you have to go crazy with it. But like, it is always like always grow. You know, like there's this class. Like I was listening earlier today to some Kevin Samuel sort of stuff where he said something where people's like looks stop. Like so imagine like you peaked out in high school. You're still wearing the same shit you did in high school.
Yeah.
Or you peaked out at 35, or you peaked out wherever you kind of peaked out, you just stay wearing the same shit. And it's this whole thing of like you have to keep trying to evolve. Or you know, there's nothing wrong with like, I mean, shit, you're president of the United States, you're wearing a suit. I mean, like, hey, you know, did pretty good. Pretty good. But like there is this whole thing where like, you know, you have to keep trying to like don't like get stuck behind on some stuff, you know, unless that peaks real nice. You know, it's like just continue to grow, man. But anyway, Gold Key, where can people follow you, man?
Yeah, man. Follow me on Twitter at gold. What is it? It's at gold K3Y _. Also follow Maximus on Twitter, Maximus _DAO. I'm more active on Maximus _DAO right now for the launch. We've got a launch phase going on for new Hex Stake Pools that there's, I think, 12 days left to mint 1-to-1. So you can join the pools 1-to-1 with Hex, or you can join the Maximus team with Maxi. So yeah, definitely check out our Twitter for updates on that. And then our website is maximusdao.com, where you can learn more about those products as well. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It's been really fun.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Thank you so much, man. And then so go follow me on all my socials. Go look below and stuff. All the links for everything that we talked about today are in the description box. So you can Maximus DAO, Gold Key, all Instagram, YouTube, everything is down there. So catch you guys later. My next stream is going to be on Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'll be releasing the topic pretty soon. So peace, you guys. Later.